Wagwan, my people. Welcome back to another episode of Reels and Riddims brought to you by Carry On Friends in partnership with the Style to the Vibes and Breadfruit Media. And of course, you don't know Reels and Rhythms. We bring you commentary, reviews, and perspective to what's going on in the world of TV, film, and concerts with enough vibes as only Michaela and I can. And of course, all of this is through the lens of Caribbean culture, Caribbean American, and immigrant and first generation experience because you don't know we have to represent all around. So I am Carrie Ann and my co-host Michaela she about me have to
Me
scold her
debout.
because she chat out the whole thing before we hit record. Cause she
Well, come on, I know when you watch versus what me watch, and
no,
if you're watching the same things.
but that is what needs to come out in the recording.
Okay, all right. Me
All
not chat
right,
it out.
so this is our winter edition. Cause we kick off the season with the summer edition of what we've been watching. So
Mm-hmm.
this is the winter edition of what we've been watching. And so we'll also have part two of we call it our Reels radar, which is what we are looking forward to. So releases that we're looking forward to. So since Michaela, I run with our list. Me make she go on first. Michaela, what have you been watching?
I feel like we should do something. List everything that you've watched, right? Don't talk about it, but I want to see like what you've watched, what versus what I've watched, and if there are anything that is similar. Anything that is similar, we'll probably have more to talk about together. So that's why I was just trying to organize my thoughts and
Mm.
how far I can go in case you want to watch something or I want to watch something.
All right. So
So
and
mega run on my list and not too long.
okay, all right.
Since you tell me to go first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I watched Alex Cross on Amazon Prime, the Whitney documentary on Netflix, Black and Beauty on Netflix, the Lisa Frank documentary on Amazon Prime, Little on Netflix, but that was a movie. Later Daters, which is a dating series on Netflix, and Martha. I think I kind of touched on Martha in a previous episode.
In the Shine
However,
episode.
in the Shine episode, okay. But Martha, yeah, we got to talk about Martha.
All right. So I watched Cross. Dune Prophecy on HBO Max, um, The Madness on Netflix, Martha. I started watching Jacko on Peacock. I watch a bunch of other stuff, but I'm not really talk about that, like you know, series, sitcoms, or whatever is regular on TV. Um, yeah, but those are the ones my on list right now, and yeah. So where you want to start with first? Let's start
Uh,
with Cross. Me
yeah,
tell you.
let's start
My
with
God, Jesus.
Cross.
My gosh. My gosh. My gosh. What I love about Cross, and most people didn't recognize that Alex Cross, the character, is traditionally a black detective, but there were three prior movies, two of which Morgan Freeman played Alex Cross, and the third one, Tyler Perry,
Tyler
that
Perry,
was
baby. Yeah.
one of two roles that I remember where he's not in drag. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not a Tyler Perry movie. So it was
Yeah.
that one, and he was in Star Trek. But what I love about this iteration of Alex Cross is that Tyler Perry's portrayal and Morgan Freeman's portrayal of Alex Cross, they leaned more on his forensic psychology side,
Mm-hmm.
whereas in this series they were masterful and able to capture him as a detective, and you almost like, oh wait, yeah, he does forensic psychology, whereas in the movies you almost forgot he was a detective. You thought of him as the forensic psychologist first, as
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Alex Cross, versus in the Amazon Prime, it was a lot of action. It was like he's a police guy, he's a detective, but he got the little brain skills. So I really loved it. I think Aldous Ahaj was perfect. The first 5-10 minutes of episode one, you got it locked. We're not gonna tell nobody about it. You just have to experience it. And it was just like like any Jamaican person after the scene done, you go boop boop. Yeah,
Yes,
but
I was definitely hooked. I had to watch the whole thing. I couldn't like stop watching it.
yeah,
I
it
just had to
was.
get through it.
We watched it, and then for Thanksgiving, the usual thing about what are we watching. So I told my sister-in-law, like, okay, this is what we're gonna watch. Started watching it all over again, right? Because after we were 6 episodes in, started watching it again, and Thanksgiving night into the next day, done watch the series. And I mean, I don't know about you, but when we are watch sure we they pause it. All right, how much minutes left? All right. Cause you figure out what's gonna happen at the end of this episode. And a lot of times, like Nico was so emotive through this whole series. Like, what kind of little box that are little cut that stab up the it's like, what is good?
Well, because
Like,
it makes sense because it's a family mystery as well as he's solving for another case at the same time.
time.
So that's what I really liked. It was I've heard of the previous movies, and I think I caught a glimpse of the Tyler Perry one like one time when someone else was watching it. If I'm not mistaken, Cecily Tyson played his mom in that.
I don't remember that. But the
Was that
one
one?
no, I don't remember
Maybe
that.
not. Maybe it's not that. Maybe I'm mixing up some
The
of
one with
his
Morgan
movie.
Freeman, Ashley Judd, because it was Kiss the Girls and Along Came the Spider.
Okay.
So I remember those. Like I loved watching it. It was just like wow.
So
Um,
those weren't called Alex Cross, the one with Morgan Freeman.
no, but the Morgan Freeman's character
Claire is the
is
cat.
Alex
Alex
Cross,
Cross.
but
Got
the
it. Got
movie
it.
is called I don't remember which came first, Kiss the Girl and Along Came the Spider. So they were kind of like sequels, but I just
Okay.
don't remember which one came first.
Got it. Got it. Yeah. So I like that they had two kind of mysteries going on at the same time. I'm pretty sure you thought you had it figured out early. Was it who you expected in the end for the family
Absolutely.
murder? Yeah.
Missy, well, not all right. I don't think it's clear what happened with the family, but for the whole thing, before we even knew the face of the killer, we watched it. I would say it's Tom, and so my niece was like, "Who's Tom?" I said, "Tom from Reddington, from Blacklist." From the minute we saw his face,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know. Did you watch Blacklist with Raymond Reddington? Okay, so
Mm-mm.
you don't know.
Mm-mm.
So the actual killer in Cross, he was in Blacklist, and so he played Reddington's daughter. To make it less
So
complicated,
once you see him, you associated him with a previous role that he
yeah,
played.
and he was
Okay.
very sneaking, and we
Yeah.
just immediately look upon him say, if Tom in there, Tom no good, right?
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
his role in Reddington.
I didn't think it was the person who it was until that person offered up their space for them to come stay. I was like, that's a little
Oh yeah,
odd.
no, no, no. That's when we all said, mm. And
Yeah.
then she's like,
Yeah.
oh, there's
But
no,
I thought it was, I did think it was someone close to him, but I thought it was someone different for
no, no,
a
no,
completely different reason.
no. For your where you thought that person was involved, that's when all of us was like, my sister-in-law, Makota, what a way she convenient, eh?
And that me say,
What a way she convenient. Me say,
but not only
mm-hmm.
that, and
And then the place now
the
have
line,
no Wi-Fi,
eh,
no nothing. And a this
eh,
say you want to go hide out.
eh,
Mm-mm.
I'm like, no,
Mm-mm.
you were better off keeping your kids close to you at that point. But me never like how him deal with him friend though.
You remember he is the guy who used to be the Old Spice spokesman.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I like
yeah.
it was an interesting
Yo, when they
series.
got face to face like this, I was like, and the girl, the short black
She's
girl was
like,
like, you guys go to your corners. She was just trying to fill them up and
that's what
separate
she
them at
yeah,
the
she's
same
just like
time.
doing the
It was so funny, but yeah, definitely a good series. And especially if you enjoy like murder mystery type, and even the serial killer that they were solving for. I mean, I picked that up pretty early too, but I'm just like, who
You know that the black guy as a serial killer is fictional. There's no such serial killer as the black guy. They made him up
Oh, okay.
for
The
Cross.
partner. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
which partner? No, like,
Well, he was a partner to the other serial killer.
huh?
So the white guy and the black guy. That's what you're talking about?
No, no, no. So remember, the first kill that we know was Amir, whatever, right?
That wasn't the killer. He was the victim.
He was the victim, but what I'm saying,
Yeah.
the actual killer who he's mirroring is not an actual serial killer in
Yeah,
real life.
yeah. No. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a made up serial killer, but
So
the
all the other serial killers are real serial killers?
yes,
Oh, okay.
that one they made him up and made him fictional for the show, but the
I didn't
other
even
ones,
realize that those were real serial killers. I thought
yes,
that
they
they
are.
were all okay. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I
Um,
never realized.
yeah, you know, like when we watch movie, we involved, we invested, we want to know who else in it.
Yeah.
But the other thing I noticed, it's like thriller seasons. Almost everything that's out right now is categorized as a thriller, because even The Madness, which we watched, it's
Mm-hmm.
considered a thriller. But as I was watching it, I was like, the girl, you look familiar, right? So the main character, it's what's his name?
The
Domingo,
ex-wife?
huh?
The ex-wife? Not the ex-wife.
The ex-wife. So did you watch The Madness?
I started I'm like 2 episodes in.
All right. So
Maybe,
the
yeah.
ex-wife with our
Yeah.
blonde hair,
Yeah. She's
she's
been
the
in a lot of movies. Yeah.
she's the mother in Brother.
Yeah, she is.
She is
She
the good up Jamaican actress who is
yes.
in Brother, and also the director of at least 4 of the episodes, and producer is the same producer from Brother.
Got it. That
Big up
makes a
to the
lot of sense.
Jamaican them. Big up, clap for
This
them.
me I
Clap for
said,
them.
one girl with her blonde up short hair.
Clap for
Yes.
them.
I love Domingo. I think he's such a great talent. And I've watched him on Fear of the Walking Dead for a while. And
Mhm.
his character has been so interesting in terms of his development. So I've liked him since watching that series.
Yeah.
And then I've seen him in other things. We've talked about a few projects that he's been in. So yeah, I'm still watching The Madness. So
I'm
don't
not
give it
telling nothing
away.
about it.
Yeah,
No, I'm not
yeah,
telling about
yeah.
it. I started the Jackal that have Lashana in there.
He
Lashana works with MI6.
oh okay.
It's been interesting. I'm not done watch it. I needed a break from all of the thrillers, because it's all of the suspense. It's like, Lord, me can't watch it. Oh God, you anticipate the move when they come. Look how they go get chopped. Look how they go get, like, I just need a break from anticipating what will happen. Like, cause
Yeah.
what a like idiot girl go just cut and run. They said, when me done stab him up, you see. I said, what? I'm like, gosh. But I've also been enjoying Dune Prophecy. So
Is
that's
that's a series or
it's a series, a
okay
spin-off series from Dune. It's
from
about
Dune? Okay.
the women, um,
Okay.
Bene Gesserit women who can, do all sort of things. So I've
I
enjoyed
haven't
that.
seen Dune, but it's like a sci-fi. Isn't it like
Yes.
three
So there's
movies and then
two.
this oh there's
Dune
two.
one,
Okay.
and the movies came out 1 and 2.
Okay.
There's probably something else, but then this series, Dune Prophecy, is a spin-off,
Oh,
just
okay.
following this particular group of women in
Listen, people just are extend the content all which ways.
the
Yeah.
storyline is it's long, but
Yeah.
then we have Martha.
Martha, as we call her.
Hmm.
What did you think? What did you think?
It was interesting. I think there were parts about it. I think what they did in the preview was show that one line where he was like, if a man cheats on you, he's stupid and all of this stuff, right? But I'm like, Martha, you just done marry the man a year, kiss one stranger in a Duomo. Where you not think I give bun, you give
She
the man bun.
she, she didn't think that was cheating.
She didn't think that was cheating. I didn't feel nothing. I was like, what you mean? You have to feel nothing. You're not supposed to do it. Period. Like what?
But the funniest part was when she was talking about divorcing her husband, and and she had been dating somebody, and she was still married, and then the guy was like, I guess the husband doesn't appear in the
The series,
documentary.
right? Hmm.
But the funniest part is she was just like, yeah, but I didn't do anything that would have jeopardized my marriage, huh?
I was just like, what? The same thing. I
I
was
wouldn't have
like,
left. I wouldn't have let, and I felt betrayal because it was somebody that was next door that I put up. Adat bonar, adat bonar,
Adapt
adat
bonar.
bonar,
Yeah, yeah. And that
because
would have been anybody.
yeah,
You're
yeah,
moving
yeah.
somebody upon your property, and while you upon the property, them boogie oogie down the road, like, But she,
Proximity, proximity.
yeah, she kissed. First of all, she upon her honeymoon, left the man in the hotel room, going at the Duomo, but like, oh, it was just such a experience, and you kiss.
I'm just like,
What?
do we really get this emotionally moved over
Me, me,
art?
me no know. Like, so that was one. Then she's like, yeah, I met this Irish man, and hmm, he was just,
He was
a thing.
handsome.
He was just handsome. I wasn't gonna break up my marriage for him. I was just
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
but
yeah,
you still get the man born. What are you talking
yeah,
about?
yeah. That was funny. I also didn't realize, she was the first female to have a company on the New York Stock Exchange.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I think we kind of talk about branding all the time. It's just like, I don't know that her brand would have been successful without her tied to it. I also wasn't aware of the insider trading case, like what it exactly it was. And I do feel like they wanted to use her as a scapegoat a bit, to kind of like, she can't be like, Martha's personal life is probably like a hot mess, right? And I don't think that she shied away from that. But as a business person, um she had a lot to go through with being one of the few and the first. And I do give her credit for that. Um and she kind of did it with just this. I think the part where they're showcasing her personality, I think she had a difficult personality to work with, because she was like, "Why would you use this small knife to cut this big thing?" And it reminded me of like a old, like when in Jamaica, mother I tell you, if you do something and you do it, and you not do it the way she want you to do it, and you do it wrong, because, and you're like, it's just a knife, it doesn't matter. But no, this is the proper knife you use. So
Mm-hmm.
I just brought
Yeah,
like
when she
that to me.
when she the garden, she's like, listen, you got to go down there. And, it's called
Yes,
weeding out.
yes,
Like it's,
yes,
but she
yes,
said it right. She's like, her father liked her because she was so much like the father, exact,
yes, yes,
and
exact.
but also that level of exactness played a role in her success. And I think someone said, like, a man, if she was a man, it wouldn't have been a problem. It's because she was a woman being
Yes.
that way,
Mm-hmm.
it became a problem. But also, I was, as Sonika and I was watching it, and I was like, I remember this era because I moved back from college and I was working on Broadway and Bleecker, and the Kmart was at Astor Place, and we would go up there, and everything was Martha Stewart living. And I remember maybe at one point I applied for a job at Martha Stewart Omni Media. So I was very aware of what that meant. But I think what was more insightful was, you know, the time. She at school, and she said the girl was driving at the Rolls Royce just go up and say, I think you should date my brother. Miss, I said, it really go back in the
It was
like
that simple. It was that simple.
date my, like, um and then her really deciding to go up to Turkey Hill and redo everything, and how she was shut out because she was making her stuff too cheap at Kmart and all of these things. So it was just very interesting to see that side of it
Mm-hmm.
as
Mm-hmm.
well. But also, I think her rebranding herself with Snoop, It was
Yeah.
just like even the other day, when I was watching The Voice, she came out there with some version of some eggnog drink, and she's like, yeah, Snoop doesn't do eggnog, he does like gin and juice or something like that, so everybody else get that, and she have a special thing for Snoop. Also, just you know how them being opposites have worked, and I think if anything, there are lessons you can learn from Martha, understanding that Martha Stewart is our brand.
Hmm.
And I can see that in the example. Remember, we were reading that article with Bobby Brown and the makeup, and how Bobby Brown now can't even use her own name on products,
Hmm.
because she sold the brand. So I think these are just very, for us, geeking out on business and stuff, just very interesting
Definitely a lot of
case.
lessons too,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
even what was interesting, like you were talking about, she could have went upscale, or I think she didn't perceive herself as like this upscale person.
yeah.
She just did. I love how they described what she did, as simple, like every accessible. Like she uses flowers from her garden for her tablescape. It's not that, but she knows how to grow a garden. And so essentially, while it looks like this beautiful extravagant things, and we now live in the opulence and the luxury of having people set up, extravagant birthday and event planning and that sort of thing. That wasn't necessarily the thing. It was really women who were entertaining their husbands, families, their wives, I mean their significant others and people in the neighborhood. And that's how a lot of this decor really came about. And she really built a business off of that. And I think it wasn't so, to me, she didn't come across, and even I knew her brand, it was very like simple and very basic. So while other people um kind of had her at this perfectionism thing, it's just like, just because she wants to eat at a really nice table doesn't make her perfect. Like they gave her this perception that she thought she had to live up to. And it's very telling, because we now live in an age with social media where people thinking that they have to be perfect and always on in order to appeal to a massive, and really like it says something about us as society and in our reflection of
I was
of
about to
that
say,
successful person and what she's bringing to the table, that she never saw herself as perfect, but the her community saw her as that way, and she had to kind of feel like she had to live up to that.
I have another angle. I think, you know, what she did and how she did it, some people were like, oh my God, that's good, I would like to do that. And some people thought of it as a deficiency on their part, that they're not
Hmm.
able to do this. And like, I didn't look at, me not try to be Martha Stewart, me not care what she want to do, like I'm not trying to. And I don't think of myself less as a woman because me not go to the go pick flowers, or me not grow my own herb or whatever in my
Yeah.
backyard. I don't think of myself that way. But I, from the comments and the press, I can see how people feel like how she does things make them feel less about themselves. And it doesn't have to be someone on the level of Martha Stewart. This could be in your
Hmm.
everyday life. If you're good at
Hmm.
something or you do something very well, you feel like, you and I have heard it in mommy blogging, right? We've seen it,
Hmm.
how, moms are able to do all of these things. And for working moms, you're like, man, I have time for do all of this, something up and down, but it doesn't make me less of a mom. So
Yeah.
it's whatever insecurities people are dealing with.
Yeah.
Um, I thought it was a little short too, because I was like, for the level of minutes things I did shot.
Yeah.
But Martha going to prison and a school of people, the woman
Listen,
them in the
Martha
prison.
know how to make something out of. She's the epitome of make something out of nothing.
Of
You know what I mean?
course.
Like that. That was her story. She was
Yeah.
always making some, and she always had that thought process of, hey, she was a risk taker in that regard, and she kind of paved the way, unbeknownst to her, really, for a lot of women in media and in the
Mm.
influencing space. And I think I enjoyed it. Martha's hilarious. I can see why her and Snoop get along.
Yeah, but also
Um,
the relationship with the last guy was like, yeah, I
Yo,
just
he
like
just
people who
like
just
stopped
do.
talking to her when she went to prison.
Yeah, he was just like, I'm like, but I
She
found
was,
that interesting. I found that
oh
interesting.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think yeah, she her relationships are just very interesting.
Mhm. All right,
Very
so
interesting.
switching gears, Reels Radar, what are you looking forward to? New seasons are come out. Make call your list.
I'm looking forward to Get Millie Black. I have been purposely ignoring anything that in my timeline so that I can listen and watch with fresh eyes, but that's high on my radar. Well, that's the only one I got.
Okay. But also, by the time you watch
By the time
this,
this comes
it's
out,
out. Get Millie
Get
Black will
Millie
be
Black
our
is gonna be
next.
already
Yeah,
done. Yeah.
yeah, will
So
be our next review.
yeah,
So
I don't have anything that far out to be
yeah.
honest.
So my list is run the
Your
list.
list is long. Yes.
Harlem is by the time this come out, Harlem season 3 is probably gonna be out. Survival of the Thickest is coming out soon. Also, by the time this airs, Dr. Watson is going to be out with Morris Chestnut, and I'm excited because I really liked him in Rosewood, where he played Beaumont Rosewood, where he played the autopsy
Oh, okay.
doctor,
Yeah.
and they were based in Miami. So I really
Mhm.
like Morris Chestnut in these like detective type roles. I think he does them very well. Um, and then Cross season 2 is already locked in for November 2025. Um, and I'm hoping we can get this for 2025, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Reasonable Doubt season 3.
Mm.
I don't think we're
Yeah,
gonna get it in
I don't know the
2025.
dates for those.
Yeah, but for Cross, we definitely know because
It's in
I
the
read.
works. Is it gonna is 2025?
Yeah, because from what I understand, they renewed it for season 2 before season 1 was even done.
Oh,
And
okay.
so season 2 is November 2025. When I told Nico, I said, makes sense, you never did tell me at all. I'm like, okay. Um, Dr. Watson, by the time this airs, Dr. Watson might be already out. That's slated for January 26th. Harlem is also January, and Survival of the Thickest may be a spring release.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I'm looking forward to. And of
Yes.
course, Get Millie Black, by the time this airs, I've already watched it. I've been very disciplined. And we're going to have a guest for that because she texts me, everybody at text me. They're like, hello, me want to record this now. Me say, you can join Michaela and I. I won't spoil it for the audience. Just tune in to that review and you will see. Um, this person has been on the show before. So yeah, we're excited about Get Millie Black. So this is what we've been watching. This is what we're looking forward to. And rope in for the next review, which is Get Millie Black. So if you haven't watched it yet, run go watch it so you can keep up with the and thing. And then let us know what you thought about the other shows that we've watched. Are you watching them? Have you watched them? You should watch them. I mean, Cross, come on, watch it. My gosh, watch it. And watch it with friends. Watch it by yourself. Cross is the type of thing where you want to watch with a whole heap of people because hey, look, watch. I mean, oh my
If you
God.
watch with a lot of people, you have to rewind a lot too.
No, you just,
Because you got miss certain part because people are chat
no,
through the whole thing.
no. In our household, we pause. And that's why
Well,
it takes so long. We
you probably
pause.
on the trigger finger on the
Yes,
because
we
once somebody says something, you pause it.
listen, any little movement, even if them are open the crackers bag and it go pause it. Hurry up and fold up the bag
I
and
one
lock it.
controller, I one person that control the pause.
Lock it. You done? You're like, all right, good. Mm. And the other thing we have to be doing now is watching it with the closed caption because I realize that depending on the platform, the volume just modulates like
Yeah.
big swings. Like, what am I saying? And then when the ads chip in and load, and then you have to turn it down. And when the show come back on, you have to book the show. I'm just like, we need to figure out how I place and normalize this volume across the show and the ads. Then what am I run? But that's a whole other story. But let us know what you've been watching. Anything on we didn't say that you think we should watch. We don't watch things up on TV, but we're not call it. Maybe we'll do a TV edition.
No,
Um,
I don't really watch TV. So
no, when I mean TV, this season of Abbott Elementary, I've been watching that.
that's probably the one
Um,
thing I watch.
yeah, and I've watched the new Matlock, but Dr. Watson
Matlock Return.
it's an interesting twist on Matlock. Um, so yeah,
This one's a murder she wrote.
so and because Dr. Watson is a TV series that's gonna be on CBS, so
Oh, okay, okay.
it's gonna be interesting. So yeah. All right, and so that was it. That's what we've been watching. The winter edition. We'll have a spring edition, um, and you'll hear whatever else come out, right, Tete? And all right, until next time. Walk
All
good
right.
later.
Later.
Bye.
Bye, guys.